How's it going, YouTube? Dr.V here again, bringing you, or finally coming back to you with our draft recap for Season 2 of the PMC. Now, I know I took a really long break here. I decided to take some summer courses, and they ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, so my time was extremely limited, along with helping out with the D-League with power rankings. If you kept up with that, you saw that I was doing those all D-League season, and I just really had no time. So, but now I'm back focusing here on Season 2, and I'm excited to bring you guys this recap, honestly. I like the team that I got, and I think that you guys will enjoy seeing it this season. Now, to start things off, we did franchise Weavile from last season. Now, I know that it was 40 points and the first round pick, which is a disgusting amount to pay for a franchise, but you know, honestly, for me at least, it was really worth it to just take Weavile. It got pretty much like 80% of the kills last season for me, and without it, I wouldn't have even been close in as many games as I was, so it really helped out, and I just felt that it deserved a first round pick, so I decided to franchise it. So it'll be somewhere over here, but if maybe, I don't even know, honestly. It'll be somewhere on the screen, you'll see it. But yeah, Weavile is staying with us, and this season I am going with a bit of a Sith Lord theme, so Weavile's nickname is going to be Darth Revan for the entire time, or D Revan, since Darth and then another name won't fit on all the mons. But yeah, so Weavile again is just a monster. I understand that it's a glass cannon and it will die to a Mach Punch every single time. Even a non-stab Mach Punch, its defenses are just ridiculous, but you know, it's okay, it can put in work, so I'm really happy that I kept it. Alright, so this next pick, I never expected this to fall this late into the draft, and this was basically, I believe, 19 picks into the draft, 19 or 20, so I took Landorus I, or Landorus Incarnate. I don't know why this thing was still available. I understand that it dies to an Ice Shard fairly easily, but how many things actually get Ice Shard that are usable in this type of format? Donphin, I already got Weavile, so no need there. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on mons that normally carry Ice Shard, but HP Ice is a thing, I understand that, but Weavile can eat HP Ices for days, really, and if all else fails, I can always slap on a Yachi Berry on it, and it will eat up that one hit and probably dish something back to the opponent, probably knocking them out, depending on what they have. So, yeah, this really messed with my draft a little bit. Initially, I planned to draft something like Cresselia or something similar to that type of bulk where I could switch in easily on a Mach Punch or anything else really and just take a hit from things, but this was just a mon that I felt was too good to pass up, and even though it did cost me another 180 points, I thought it was worth it for it, so I went with it. And the nickname that I chose for Lando was Darth Bane. I know lots of people go with Calrissian or whatnot, but I didn't want to do that, and I didn't. So, on to the next pick. Next up, we have Entei. Yep, I chose an Entei this time. I finally got it. I know that it's pretty easy to predict when an Entei is gonna have extreme speed and whatnot, but Entei has a really versatile moveset, and it can hit people pretty hard. Like even if you know that it's a choice banded Entei, like, you're not gonna want to take a hit from it, or even if it's not choice banded, if it's a lefty's Entei, like, it can take a hit and it can dish a hit back. So I felt that this was a really solid pick here. It helped with some of our weaknesses that we currently had to ice and to fighting. So I was happy with it, and I thought that we chose that at a very good spot. So my nickname for Entei was actually Darth Vader. Just, I don't know why it reminds me of it, but Entei reminds me of Vader for some reason. So next up, we have something that was probably a bit of a misdraft for me here. Even though it's not a bad mon, I'll explain how it's a misdraft after the next pick, after that one. So we have Vaporeon, who I nicknamed Darth Gravid. I don't know why, it's just the one that I chose for it. But yeah, Vaporeon's a really solid wall. It has access to Wish, it has access to Heal Bell, so it's not a bad mon by any means, and I was initially really happy that I drafted it until I remembered what Mega I wanted. So that kind of is like, well, you know, it's really solid wall. One can be a wall breaker, really. So I might just keep it throughout the entire season. I'm not sure yet. I might try to trade it, or I might drop it for a free agent if I see something that my team desperately needs. But overall, I'm not upset about picking that up. So yeah. Alright. For my next pick, I decided to jump the gun a little bit here and take him on that I felt personally that I needed to grab, which was Regice. Now, I decided that I needed to grab this mon because it's a really solid physical wall. Its ability mummy, like, it's a really good ability to have on a mon, like, even especially if you're going up like against, I don't know, against whatever, that any mon that relies on its ability, really, that hits physically, something with sheer force, something with reckless, all those types of abilities, like if they hit it and then their ability becomes mummy, which pretty much takes away a really valuable part of their attack base. So I was actually really happy that I managed to pick it up. I know I probably did jump the gun a little bit with it, but I thought that this was a good place to pick it up. It balanced out a couple things on my team that I needed to fix up. So far right here, I was like, okay, I have a really solid team. I have a couple hard hitters, a couple defensive mons. We're in good standing. And more cloud coverage. So I apologize for the lighting. I'm recording in the middle of the day right now, in case you can't tell by me sweating. It's like 105 degrees, but whatever. I don't currently have any curtains in my room, so the lights will be going as the clouds go. So yeah. Luckily there's enough light from the screen too, so that you can actually still see me. So let's move on. So my next pick. So here was why I was a little on the fence, about Vaporeon. I decided to take Mega Blastoise for my mon. Now, this pick was basically me deciding that I really don't want to have to worry about hazards. Like, my team so far can take them pretty easily. Lando can take them, Vaporeon can take them, Regice can take them. So now with Mega Blastoise, I have a really solid spinner along with coverage for basically every single type of mon. It gets Ice Beam, Scald, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse. It's just a large move pool that I really thought could help me out. Now I'm gonna pause this real quick because my battery's about to die. Alright, so I'm back now. Sorry about that, my battery was running really low. But yeah, Blastoise. I just thought it's a really solid wall breaker, and with Rapid Spin, it was a mega that I could actually put to use. It's a mega that I've used previously. And yeah, it's actually one of the few megas I'm really comfortable with using. I've experimented with it before, I've run teams based off of it before, and I thought that it can definitely put in a lot of work. So, oh yeah, Cofragigus was named Darth Tenebris, and Blastoise is named Darth Cognis. Yep. If you're wondering where I got all these names from, they're all online, so you can go up and look them up. They are actually all Sith Lords from different series and whatnot, but they are all technically part of the Star Wars universe. So, moving on. My next pick that I chose, let me find it real quick. Alright, so my next pick, it was actually Espeon again. So, we have one more Mon that's returning from last season, I think. Yeah, I don't think we had Cofragigus last season, but yeah, I decided to take Espeon again. Now, I took it basically for the same reason that I took Mega Blastoise, that I don't want to deal with hazards. Having it on my team will make my opponent think twice about bringing hazards on any Mons. Like, I thought that it was a really solid pick here this late, and that Espeon is a bit underrated Mon. Plus, I needed a Psychic type on the team, and Espeon's actually a fairly decent Psychic type. It has good speed, it has good special attacks, so I was actually really happy to be able to pick it up this late. So for my next pick, there was actually a Mon that I wanted instead of this, but that being Miltank, it got taken 5 picks before this, so that kind of sucked. But the Cofragigus Miltank core would have just been disgusting, but I ended up taking Wheezing instead. Now, Wheezing is, as everyone knows, an incredible physical wall. It can just take physical hits for days, and it access to Will-O-Wisp, it can Pain Split, so I personally thought that this was a even better physical wall than Cofragigus, to be honest. Like, Wheezing just can take hits for days from, I think even Megalopen he can't. It takes about 3 or 4 hits to take down Wheezing. So yeah, this is a really solid pick. The only thing I have to say about it is that it doesn't have any form of recovery or healing apart from Pain Split, but that can be worked around with other Mons that I have. So yeah. Next pick. We actually have one more Mon returning to us, which would be Regice. Not Reggie like J-Specs calls it, but Regice. Personally, I think that Regice is one of the better Reggies, honestly. I personally like it better than Regirock or Registeel. So Regice has a base 200 special defense, I believe, so it can take a special hit. Like even a focus blast won't kill it in one hit. It'll take two. Then if you make it a defensive Regice, it can take one type of physical. I don't think it'll take close combat, but most of the things below that, like base 90s or something, I'm pretty sure it could take at least one hit. And it can actually hit things pretty hard if you're running an offensive Regice. So I thought that, I know that's another fighting weakness with adding in, but you know what, I was like, I've drafted enough things to the point where a fighting mon won't be a terrible thing to deal with, and I can switch out into something else if they're gonna use a fighting move on me. So yeah, that was that pick. Next up, we got our one of the mons I've been wanting to use for a while, which is Machamp. Now, Machamp, while its speed is really terrible, but it makes up for it with its other stats. Like, it's never gonna outspeed anything, even if you try Scarf it. It's really easy to outspeed it, so this might have been a bad pick on my part. Probably could have picked a different fighting type that probably would have gone a little better, but again, I wanted to use Machamp for a while, and I think that it can put in some work. So yeah, it's No Guard, Guts are basically the two abilities that most people go with, I believe. And it has a really solid move pool. It has a lot of coverage for different types of mons, and I really think that it was a solid pick, really. Like, especially this late in the draft, we're getting towards the end here, and for that to still be around, I was pretty happy with it. So then I believe we had one last pick, which is kind of a throwaway pick, but at the same time it's something that it's okay. I know it's not a good pick, honestly. Like, I decided to take Dunsparce. Why is basically I've been talking about Dunsparce nonstop of how people should draft it and whatnot, and I was just like, you know what? I have a really solid team. I can take one mon that I can have a little bit of fun with and try to make it work. I have some ideas actually of how I'm going to use this Dunsparce, and I can see myself bringing it to a couple of matches actually. So hopefully it can prove me wrong and not be a wasted pick, but if not, then there's always free agents to pick up that I can drop it for. So yeah, that's my team for this season. I'm really excited. I have a really rough schedule this season with, like, my first match is against Cloud, so I've never beaten him yet, and yeah, should have won last season, but you know, crits happen and whatnot, but we'll see. Yeah, my division is Vert, CJ, me, and Kingdra, so not an easy division in the least, and it's gonna be rough, but I feel that we can, if we prep properly, and we can probably win this division if we just take our time and prep properly for each match, which hopefully with my upcoming school schedule I have enough time to properly prep for everyone. But yeah, so let's hope that we can put in a bit of a better showing than last season. I'm not too fond of choking the way I did. Like, that really did bother me throughout the entire D-League, even though I was still mad that about halfway through the season all I needed to do was win two of the last 6 matches to two of the last 4 matches to advance to playoffs, and I couldn't do it. So that really bothered me, so I'm gonna try to get off on a stronger foot this time and actually try and make playoffs and win this season. So we'll see what happens, but until later, guys. Bye.